Welcome to another uh, video with the Temple of Limitless Light. If you'd like to join our Facebook group, and I'll put it in the text below. And if you follow us, when we get to 1,000, I can start selling my artwork along with the page. So please subscribe to the channel. So tonight, we're going to be practicing pore breathing, Franz Bardon style, which I learned. Well, honestly, there's a long story. First, I thought I invented it when I was a kid. And then when I met my teacher, Frater Bravas, who's written a lot of books, here's his main one, Mastering the Art of Ritual Magic, he turned me on to Franz Bardon because his training came out of Alexandrian Wicca. And the Alexandrians take ritual very seriously, so they study Franz Bardon. And so I did too, of course, and his book, An Initiation to Hermetics, was full of delicious, amazing exercises for increasing your magical abilities, your visualization, for all kinds of stuff. Seriously, if you want to learn magic, you need to know who Franz Bardon is and study him. As a group, we have gone through and did fire, water, air, and earth. Now, I'd like to extend the practice a little bit to spirit active and spirit passive. Now, where am I getting this? Okay, let me show you. Let me share my screen. I have a document that okay, share this. Sorry, that's our okay. Okay, so first, let's consider the pentagram itself. As you've probably all seen this image before of a person superimposed upon a pentagram. Now we know, for instance, that the way the pentagram usually basically works is that, let's see if I can find out. Here we go. If we want to invoke water, we go across towards water. We want to invoke fire, we go from spirit to fire. Air from water to air. And then earth from spirit to earth. We invoke towards, banish away, the way the elements are laid out onto the pentagram. For all the pentagram rituals, use this pattern. But there's a fifth element, which is spirit. Now, the elements themselves have an active quality and a receptive or passive quality. Air and fire are penetrating elements. Water and earth are more soft, reflexive elements. They sort of take the shape of the container, whereas fire particularly has to burn through any obstacles, burn through anything that's contained in, or it goes extinct. So we have two elements, water and earth, that are passive, reflective, and we have two elements, air and fire, that are very active. So spirit manifests in these two ways. If you think about it, reality is a unity expressed as a duality. The duality of active and passive is what we're going to be looking at here. So how do we invoke spirit? Well, we go from fire to air for spirit active. So if I was drawing that pentagram, I would start on my right leg, go up to my left, across to water, down to earth, up to spirit, back down to fire, and then I repeat the first bar. Earth to water invokes spirit passive. Earth to water, to air, to fire, to spirit, down to earth, and then repeat the last bar. And of course, we charge it with an invoking spiral. Now, okay, so why? Why are we going from earth to water and fire to air? Well, that image I was showing you before you think about the pentagram with a person inside of it, a human being inside, their head is up where the spirit is. Their right hand, let's see, standing inside of it, right hand would be air, left hand would be water. The two sides of the brain, in a sense, and then the feet, my right foot would be earth, my left foot would be fire. But if you notice, right where my genitalia would be, it's this bottom spot on the pyramid. And so when we invoke spirit energy, we want to cross that point, the Muladhara chakra, in a sense, of the pentagram, because that's the place where spirit enters the world. That's where people are born. That's how life is created, is through that, the connection of the Muladhara between two people. And so we go across the bottom. Took me a long time to get that explained, to figure out why the spirit active and spirit passive invocations are along the bottom like that. Okay. So where's the spirit whole idea is coming from? Okay. So when we think about elemental energies, and here's the great table of Enochian that has all the elements in it. We can see we have these four great tables put together with these bars in the middle. Spirit acting as a force that connects the elements together, but keeps them separate enough that they can have their own unique qualities. The spirit energy is what connects and acts as a grease and a glue between all the different elemental energies that we may often want to work with. And I don't want to go into a knock-in, but this pattern of the pentagram and how it's laid out repeats itself. Now, the elemental names that are on the spirit bar fold up like a carpenter's rule to create this image, the table of union, which I have an old one here that I created myself. This is where we get the spirit name. So Exarp, it's spirit of air. Akuma, it's spirit of water. Nanta, it's spirit of earth. And Pitam is spirit of fire, which correspond to the four aces of the tarot. Sorry, I don't want to go too far into this, but I feel like I need to explain where I'm going to get this name from. So these four aces, these are the four spirit names. And the first bar, EHNB, that is spirit of spirit. EHNB. Let me stop sharing. Okay. So this is my little table of union with the elemental colors marked out. And EHNB, Ehinde. This is the name for spirit of spirit that summons up, that unifies the one expression, all the names on all the Enochian tables. This is that one force. So EHNB, spirit of spirit active. BH&E, it's the energy flowing in the opposite direction. So we have BH&E, Benhe as spirit reflective, and Ehinbe as spirit active. The Enochian names can just about all be used in this way. You say them one way for one aspect, and then you can reverse the flow to get the opposite aspect. So that's where I'm getting the holy name. That's how we're drawing the pentagrams. So we're for spirit active, it'll be like this. I'll go through all this, and that'll be where I'm getting the name from. So what we'll do now is first we'll do Kabbalistic cross and sort of ground and center and balance our energies, connect together. And then we'll do a little empty body pore breathing, where we visualize our body as being completely empty. And we breathe in prana, we breathe in life force. And from there, we'll move to spirit active. And then we'll invoke Hinde, that connection to spirit of spirit. And we'll pore breathe that spirit active energy. And have that experience. And I'll do a little guided visualization. Okay, so get comfortable. Have to sit. If you want to sit in a chair, that works out fine too. Great if you can have your back straight. Sometimes it takes me a minute to sort of sort out exactly how I want to sit. So you can kind of feel when the energy is flowing correctly. Okay, so let's start now. Do a little belly breathing. Breathe from the bottom of your belly. Now do the Kabbalistic cross. Visualize yourself growing larger and larger. Your head going up through the clouds, into space, past the moon, and deep into the universe. Up above your head, visualize a brilliant light. Touch the light and bring it down to your forehead and vibrate. Eto. Now, Art, bring the light down to your heart center. You can vibrate the name of your guru or your higher self. Then bring the light down through your body, through your feet, and to the very center of the planet and vibrate. Malkut. And kingdom. Bring the light up to your left shoulder and visualize a ball of blue flame representing compassion for all living beings. Vigadura. Bring the light across to your right shoulder and visualize a ball of red energy representing your will, your wisdom. Vegavura. Leolam. Amen. So now we are centered, grounded, and balanced. Let's do a little empty body pore breathing. We're just going to try to bring in prana, the life force from around us. Visualize your body as being like an empty shell, like a bag, ready to receive the life force energy from the universe around you. And visualize that as you breathe in, through every pore of your being flows the life-giving prana from the air, from the sun, from the plants, from the life around you. And as you breathe out, all the still and stagnation energy flows out of every pore of your being, flowing out of you, going back to the energy universe to be recharged. Life force in, stagnation, and you used up prana flowing outward. The life force energy flows through the universe, through living beings, where it feeds us, it nourishes our cells, And then when we use it, flows back out into the sunlight to be recharged once again. So just breathe in the life-giving prana. Out with the stagnation. In whatever comfortable breathing pattern that's natural to you. Want to breathe deeply through the bottom of your belly. You want to do a 4-4 breath, that's fine. But the energy will follow your breath. And if you want, scan your body and see if there's any place that's not getting life-giving prana. And just visualize some energy going to those places. Maybe those are some spots that need healing or just need some attention. And this should eventually become the natural way of breathing. Breathing in through the belly, through every pore of your of your body, of your being, breathing in the life force, the life-giving prana. Breathing out all that old stagnation. So let's do a couple more breaths and then we'll move to spirit active. So now let's imagine that we're sitting in a brilliant ball of pure light. The entire universe around you is filled with the light so bright that it can only really be called brilliance, as it is beyond color. Begin breathing in this brilliance through every fiber of your being as you inhale. Visualize all your spiritual blockages, all the things that you're hung up on being broken and released with the outflow of spirit active. So the entire universe is just a pure brilliance, a light that's beyond color, a light that's beyond form. And as we breathe it in, every fiber of our being is illuminated. Any of the spiritual blockages that we have, the things that we're clinging to, that are keeping us from advancing spiritually, are illuminated and burnt away by the brilliance. And as we exhale, brilliance carries those blockages away. So we're free from all the things that are blocking and hanging us up and preventing our spiritual progress. Maybe limiting beliefs, maybe traumas. The light is so bright that it can be no shadows, no darkness where it flows. Sit with it just for a moment. What comes up for you? It's very active, penetrating spiritual light. You feel like you need to yawn, just go right ahead. That stagnation, blockages flowing out of your being. All right. Now let's take it to the next level. Let's invoke spirit active by drawing the pentagram of spirit active connecting fire and air. So visualize the pentagram in front of you. Start with your right hip, go across up to your left shoulder, cross to your right shoulder, down to your left hip, up to the top of your head, down to your right hip again. Complete it by going back up to your left shoulder. You should see in front of you a brilliant white pentagram. Now let's vibrate the name of spirit active. And put all the energy that you've gathered into the pentagram. And allow it to come back to you. And breathe in this higher octave, spirit active. Now, how does it feel? What comes up with this energy? Now let's do the gesture of spirit active, the opening of the portal. Reach out in front of you. And imagine you're opening heavy curtains and separate them. What lies beyond the curtains and the universe of spirit active? What brilliant light, what blessings, what energy. How does this feel? If it's too intense, just cross your arms and the energy will modulate and dampen. You want it to be more strong, just continue breathing deeply. What is the sensation now in your body? If you can remember the sensation, you can pull this energy up whenever you wish. Let's do a few breaths at this energy. If it becomes too intense, just remember to cross your arms and that'll modulate it. All right. Let's begin sort of lowering our energies, dropping back down. If we breathe out the light, just keeping what we need. Breathing out of the light, let's do a vanishing spiral where you start at the center, go counterclockwise 3 times, breaking up that pentagram of light, casting those lines of forces to the universe, allowing the energy to dissipate slowly. Ground out. Let's do a few more breaths. This is just prana. Now we'll ground out with a Kabbalistic cross at a higher energy level than when we started. Do it at the end to seal in the higher level of energy that we've generated from the practice. Eto Malkut Vigatula Vegavura Leolam. Amen. Feel free to continue the practice as long as you feel comfortable. Thank you so much for joining us.